Hi, my name is Judy, and I'm mom to three amazing kids who I had the privilege of homeschooling with Sonlight's literature-based curriculum from kindergarten through high school. I've also had the amazing opportunity to mentor families just like yours on the convention floor and as a Sonlight advisor by phone and by email. And one of the things I've discovered is that choosing curriculum is really not the biggest hurdle that you face. The bigger challenge is, what do I do with all the rest of life? How do I get the laundry done? What am I supposed to do about making sure there's dinner on the table every night? And half the time when we sit down to do math in the morning, I can't find the pencils or the math workbook. And so I'd like to spend just a few minutes talking about what it means to organize your home in homeschool. There are a lot of systems and books out there that people are selling on different organizational plans, and they're all phenomenal, but they really all boil down to one simple fact, and that is that organization is simply creating order. And so I found in my homeschooling that the first and best place to start with creating order was to set priorities for my day. When my kids knew what I expected for them when they got up in the morning, and when I had a really good sense of what goals I was trying to reach by the end of the day, then our whole day ran more smoothly and there were a lot less interruptions because we had an order to our day. And built into that order of the day was a skill that I had to learn as a young homeschool mom, and that was the ability to say no. There's a lot of great opportunities out there for homeschoolers. There are field trips and co-ops and play dates and gym dates, but they're not all the best choice for your family. And so learning to say no meant that I could simplify how my day looked and I could actually reach those goals that I set for the end of the day. I had a friend that once said to me, if you aim for nothing, you're apt to hit it. So that goal setting piece, that setting priorities for your day, is a really helpful place to start. And no, a plan is not going to go the same every single day. But if your kids get up knowing what you expect from them first thing in the morning, and if you have goals in place for what you want to accomplish by the end of the day, it's very helpful to keep your day moving along smoothly. And I don't know about you, but I have often found that starting my day in Scripture and spending a few minutes with the Lord certainly helps to settle my heart and my mind so that as I step into my responsibilities for the day, I have a much better outlook on the whole process. The other thing that I needed to learn to do as a homeschool mom was to make a plan for those areas of my house where I felt there was organization missing. For example, meal planning. What could I do so that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon I wasn't suddenly realizing I hadn't taken the chicken out of the freezer to defrost? And so I figured out a way to simplify my meal planning by simply saying each day of the week, I'm going to set a specific entree and it will never change from week to week. So Monday was always casserole day. Tuesday was always chicken day. Friday was always pizza day, our favorite day. It didn't mean I cooked the same recipe every Tuesday, but I at least knew what I was preparing for the day, and it made it a whole lot simpler. Another area where people tend to struggle with organization is clutter. Everybody has hobbies and stuff, and that stuff after a while piles up. I mean, think about it. If you've got 4 kids, how many pairs of shoes is that by your front door? And so I developed this 8 simple ways to conquer clutter that really helped me move some of that clutter out, and it simplified that aspect of our day. And so instead of walking through all those 8 steps with you, we'd like to offer you that resource. So just check for the link to the PDF down below. Another area that I found I needed a plan for was laundry. That mountain of laundry seemed to reproduce itself every night while we were sleeping. And so one of the things that we focused on as a family was that we were a team. Everything that happened in our house and in our family's life was because we were operating together as a team, and laundry was a great place to reinforce that habit. Little kids can do great things with matching. It's a wonderful learning opportunity to help them to figure out what colors look the same, matching up socks. Kids can learn to fold towels into squares or learn to put laundry that's clean where it belongs. And certainly every child can learn that that basket in the corner of their bedroom is where the dirty laundry belongs. It doesn't live underneath their bed. And so not only is that a great learning opportunity and teaching opportunity, but it's a wonderful skill that your children can take with them when they leave your home. And one other place that I found I really needed a plan was with my curriculum, my school day. You spend all that money and get all that material, and then what do you do with it? And so my best suggestion is take a few minutes before you start your school year, maybe sometime in the summer, and think about what tools you need to organize your school. Maybe if you're using a literature-based curriculum like Sonlight, you're going to need a bookshelf. Maybe you need pencil containers or baskets for storing things. Whatever it is you need, invest the time now to get them together before your school year starts. One of the things that I did in our homeschool that I really found helpful was every one of my kids had a Rubbermaid basket. On Sunday afternoon, I would pull that Sonlight Instructor's Guide off the shelf, kind of skim down through what was coming up for the week, pull the books off the shelf I needed, math workbooks, paper, pencils, everything that my kids needed went into their own basket. Then on Monday morning, when I said, okay, let's hit the table and get started with school, nobody was running around saying, where's my math workbook? Or I don't have a pencil, or give me back my spelling notebook. So it was very helpful for us to have one location for all of their stuff. And at the end of the day, when they were all finished, all their stuff went back into that basket so they were ready for the next day. And finally, one of the biggest challenges I found as a homeschool mom was that pitfall of comparison. You know, Scripture talks about the danger of comparing ourselves to other people, and that is never more truer than in the homeschool setting. As homeschool moms, we tend to look at our friends and think, man, her house looks great and she's homeschooling 6 kids. How does she do that? Or, boy, they have the most creative and fun time when they homeschool. My kids are complaining a lot this week. How does she pull that off? And I'd like to encourage you to remember that your homeschool journey, the path that you're walking, is unique to your family, as is your friends. You don't know what challenges your friend is facing, and she doesn't know what challenges you're facing. And so certainly all of us are going to do that. There's no getting around that we're going to compare ourselves to others. But I'd like to encourage you to focus instead on the path that you're walking and the blessings that you've been given. The time that you invest in organizing your home now is almost like a deposit of money in the bank. It will save you time later on when you're not hunting for things or when you're not battling that mountain of laundry. So keep that in mind as you consider how you can best organize your homeschool. The time you invest now will save you time later.